The circulatory system, also called the cardiovascular system, is an organ system that permits blood to circulate and transport nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hormones, and blood cells to and from the cells in the body to provide nourishment and help in fighting diseases and maintain homeostasis. Let us now understand the components of circulatory system. Its components are the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels, which are further classified into three types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. We will now discuss about blood and its components. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. Blood consists of a fluid medium called plasma, in which the cells are suspended. Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide, and nitrogenous wastes in the dissolved form. Oxygen is carried by the red blood cells. WBCs, the white blood cells, provide us the immunity, and the blood platelets help in the clotting of blood. You all have guessed by now that we need a pumping organ to push blood around our body, and this pump is the heart. The heart is a muscular organ which is as big as our fist. Because both oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by the blood, the heart has different chambers to prevent the oxygen-rich blood from mixing with the blood containing carbon dioxide. Heart has 4 chambers, 2 upper atria and 2 lower ventricles. Let us now understand the differences between the auricles and the ventricles. The auricles refer to a structure of the atrium of the heart resembling an earlobe. Ventricles refer to the lower 2 chambers of the heart. Auricles are less muscular or consist of a thin wall, whereas ventricles are more muscular than the auricles. Auricles help to collect blood from the body. Hence, they are the receiving chambers of the heart, whereas ventricles pump blood to the corresponding parts of the body. Hence, they are the distributing chambers of the body. Human circulatory system has 3 types of blood vessels: the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. Arteries are the vessels which carry blood away from the heart to various organs of the body. Since the blood emerges from the heart under high pressure, the arteries have thick, elastic walls. Veins collect the blood from different organs and bring it back to the heart. They do not need thick walls because the blood is no longer under pressure. Instead, they have valves that ensure that the blood flows only in one direction. On reaching an organ or a tissue, the artery divides into smaller and smaller vessels to bring the blood in contact with all the cells. The smallest vessels have walls which are 1 cell thick and are called capillaries. Let us now understand the process of double circulation. This is the circulation of blood in humans, in which the blood passes twice through the heart to supply once to the body. It involves 2 steps: systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. We can follow this process step by step. Oxygen-rich blood from the lungs comes to the thin-walled upper chambers of the heart on the left atrium. The left atrium relaxes when it is collecting this blood. It then contracts while the next chamber, the left ventricle, expands so that the blood is transferred to it. When the muscular left ventricle contracts in its turn, the blood is now pumped out to the body. Deoxygenated blood comes from the body to the upper chambers on the right atrium, as it expands. As the right atrium contracts, the corresponding lower chamber, the right ventricle, dilates. This transfers blood to the right ventricle, which in turn pumps it to the lungs for oxygenation. Since ventricles have to pump blood into various organs, they have thick muscular walls than the atria do, and the valves ensure that the blood does not flow backward when the atria or ventricles contract. Let us now understand the mechanism of blood pressure. The force that the blood exerts against the wall of a vessel is called blood pressure. This pressure is much greater in arteries than in veins. Diastole and systole are the two phases of the cardiac cycle. They occur as the heart beats, pumping blood through a system of blood vessels that carry blood to every part of the body. Systole occurs when the heart contracts to pump blood out, and the diastole occurs when the heart relaxes after contraction. The normal systolic pressure is about 120 mm of Hg and diastolic pressure is 80 mm of Hg. The pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular systole is called systolic pressure, and the pressure in artery during ventricular diastole is called diastolic pressure. Blood pressure is measured with an instrument called sphygmomanometer.